Good evening. Namaskar. We welcome you all on this fourth webinar, which is a series going on by doctors. And it's basically about yoga, health, and healing. Today's topic is PCOD and menstrual health issues, holistic care through Ayurveda, yoga, and modern science. Everybody knows now Dr. Nutan. I won't say much about her because you all would like to hear from her. Dr. Nutan is faculty here. She's a medical consultant here. She also gives lectures and courses, and she's coordinating the our diploma course, and she has recently finished NIT exam as well. So I request now Nutan to start the program. Unmute, please. Unmute, please. Nutan, unmute and then start.
Yeah, namaste. Good evening to all of you. Good evening, sir. Thank you, Raviji, for introducing me again on this FB Live. We did our live session, I think 2 months back regarding same women's health. But today we are more focusing on the specific topic that is PCOD and menstrual health. Before we start, as a tradition of Kevaladham, we would like to start this session with the Shanti part. So let's begin and centralize our attention to gain more knowledge from this session. I request all the participants to be with me and pray. Let's start. Close your eyes. Relax yourself. Back, neck straight. Relax face, relax neck, relax shoulder. Your legs, all posture should be in relaxed state. Observe your breath. After aligning your body, mind, and breath, let's begin the prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. So thank you all of you. Let's start today's session. I'll be more focusing on the this PCOD and menstrual health, like I have told you, covering lots of points regarding modern science, Ayurveda, and yoga. So let's begin this topic. I hope everybody is able to see my screen and see exactly the women's health, and we will be more focusing on this reproductive system mainly. All women, and actually most of us, should know about our main system, which differentiate us from each other, male and female reproductive system. In this you will see the normal ovary I have shown on one side, and the other side ovary is telling you about some abnormalities in the functioning. Now let's explore more about this. So here is the slide which will be telling you normal function of the ovary in female reproductive system. So it has mainly two functions. First it starts with follicle maturation. So then for after maturation of these follicles, it happens under the influence of our brain and body communication. So every month one egg mature, and it comes out from the ovary, and average, actually normal interval, it has been given that 28 days this cycle should be repeated. So you will be seeing this beautiful animation which is telling you everything, that one egg is coming out and it has been captured by the tube like structure, and from that tube that ovum is traveling down, and then it is coming out in the end, and you will see red color, that is the endometrium lining which is there inside the uterus, which is also shedding out with the help with that egg which is not fertilized. So this monthly cycle goes on, and the red color endometrium part and the dead egg is the part of menstruation. So every month women menstruate, the unless and until that egg get fertilized, if she has some intercourse. So pregnancy के time पे we don't have this cycle repeated. 9 months there will be holding of this function till that pregnancy get converted into childbirth, and things goes on. So whatever I have explained you, this is the normal function of ovary, and average and normally every woman should menstruate monthly after she starts her first period, that is at the age of 12 to 13 years. That is the first menarche time, and then this is complete age till this period stops during menopause. So menopause is nothing but it is the cessation of this complete functioning. So normally fertile age, what woman has, that starts from the first menarche till her menopause period. So this is very important to understand. Whatever problem she will face, then it may be what we are going to talk or discuss today is about menstrual health or PCOD. It occurs only in this during this fertile age. Um, so let's see what happens if this normal function doesn't happening. This is, this comes under menstrual disorder. And what are the causes for this? So there are some terminology which one should understand first. So here I have written amenorrhea. Amenorrhea terms is given for the no bleeding. Means we have seen in our last slide that every month that egg comes out and it degenerate with the endometrium lining, and that is menstruation. So that bleeding is not happening, that is amenorrhea. Now this amenorrhea is normal before menarche and during pregnancy and after menopause. So this is normal amenorrhea. But if during middle age, when it has to happen, during that time if this menstruation or bleeding is not happening, then it comes under menstrual disorder. Then second terminology is dysmenorrhea. So dysmenorrhea means painful bleeding. So bleeding is happening, but it is very much painful that woman is not able to tolerate that pain. So that comes under dysmenorrhea. Then the third terminology is oligomenorrhea, means the bleeding has just the manifestation in the form of spotting, means quantity and quality of bleeding is not the way which is normally, which has to happen. Now, fourth is menorrhagia, is heavy bleeding. Lot of clots coming out, heavy bleeding, painful bleeding, and 3 to 5 days are normal days when that woman should menstruate. But this menorrhagia, in the menorrhagia, the period of this more than 5 days or more than 7 days, that woman is consistently getting that bleeding, and it's giving her a lot of trouble mentally and physically. That term comes under menorrhagia. Now the fifth terminology is dysfunctional uterine bleeding, that is also commonly known as DUB. So in this type of this abnormalities, that woman is actually getting irregular bleeding. Means in some months she may menstruate, one month she gets menstruation, other month she doesn't get menstruated. Then sometimes 2 months or 3 months she is not at all bleeding, and sometimes she gets menstruation 1 month continuously. So all those abnormality comes under dysfunctional uterine bleeding. And lastly, I have written here leukorrhea, that is white discharge. So this is not a red color which is coming out from the vagina, but this is white color discharge, which is nothing but it is a mucus or the glands which are located near our vaginal region, or in the reproductive system, female reproductive system, that secrete more mucus, or there are many um bacterial discharge coming out from the vagina, which has a lot of smell. And even women may feel colicky pain, lower abdominal region, pelvic region pain is there, and she is not feeling comfortable during those time. And also one important things to note down, she feels like itchy sensation, and she also needs to take some pad for this type of discharge. So this comes under abnormality, and I am showing you this pictures which will make you understand very clearly what I have explained here. So we can also relate with scanty menstruation, light menstruation, moderate and heavy menstruation. So every woman should be examine her menstrual flow, how it is. Earlier days there means women has been using this cotton cloth, and she is washing also. So she is actually getting means she used to actually see her menstruation, and she used to check that it is staining or not. So this is in Ayurveda, it has been advised that one should actually examine this way and detect their problem, and then they can immediately, if this kind of symptoms, if that woman notice, she should approach gynecologist, so that she will be not, this type of disorder will not convert into major disorder. So I think all of you, whoever listening to me, understood this. Now coming to the main point, that is polycystic ovarian disorder. Whatever we have spoken is about menstrual disorder and the symptoms and the various terminology. And this is also one of the major disorder which one can means nowadays it is very much common. It is said that PCOD is found 1 in 5 women. So you can consider how common this disorder is. And it happens due to many things, like I have explained in my last slide, that brain and body communication should happen. In this I have written that follicular maturation happens. So brain and body communication is very very important to happen timely, so that your ovary should come out timely from sorry, ovum should come out from the ovary, and it has been captured by this fimbria, and it the that continuation of the process should happen. This physiology get affected in this PCOD. So PCOD full form, it has been given in the slide, that is polycystic ovarian disorder. It is also been PCOS, ऐसे भी बोला जाता है. This is nothing but PCOS means polycystic ovarian syndrome. Means this disease is not only associated with one kind of symptoms, that we have seen that it is nothing but it is a irregular menstruation, or many painful menstruation, or heavy menstruation, but it is also associated with other disorder like obesity, or high level of androgen in their circulation. So let's see what is the relation between reproductive system and your endocrine system and your nervous system. So the whole this the cycle means there are coordination happening inside our body, which we are not at all aware about it. So while teaching anatomy physiology, I always tell my students that even if all our means each and every system in our body is complete within themselves, but still they need somebody else to cooperate, coordinate, to fulfill that the complete human life physiological function. And here also it happens in this ovulation and menstruation, which is the main part of female life. So in this disorder, polycystic disorder, I am reading here a condition or a disorder where immature follicles collects on the surface of the ovary due to defective process of ovulation that arises from the disturbance of HPO axis. Now what this HPO means, I have written in the bracket, that is hypothalamus, pituitary and ovary. So hypothalamus is the part of our nervous system, pituitary is the part of our endocrine system, and ovary is the part of our reproductive system. So all these three systems working together to happen this function, that is ovulation and menstruation. Now this normal cycle is not happening due to our own lifestyle, or there are some hereditary factor, or sometimes there are no reason found out why it is happening. So whatever possible in our hand to correct our diet, discipline and lifestyle, maybe help that woman who is suffering from PCOD to lead her present life at least smoothly, and enjoy her whatever life she has, and cure her disease. I must say here that PCOD, even modern science also, they do not have any solution for it. And PCO has a lot of complication, which I will be explaining in my consecutive slides. Let's see signs and symptoms. Approximately 50% women suffer from defective ovulation, 30% and present with irregular and heavy menstrual bleeding. So if you see this complete structure which I have shown here, I assume that everybody knows about the structure of reproductive system, female reproductive system, which has been shown here, that female has that one vagina, cervix, one uterus, two tubes, and then two ovaries, right and left side. Every month, one ovary ovulate and the cycle happens, which is explained before. So this egg is not coming out from this ovary, and that's what causing the problem in PCOD, that all that egg which is not coming out, they are collecting on the surface of this ovary. And that's why that women may not menstruate also, because this egg is not coming out, so there is no message goes to our hypothalamus or pituitary gland exactly what is happening. So there is a miscommunication between reproductive system and hypothalamus and endocrine system. So it is also considered as a hormonal imbalance. So let's see how what are the things happens, and what Ayurveda also has view on this. Until now we have seen that signs, symptoms, diagnosis, treatment, we will see in further slides. Complication also I am explaining. Ayurveda perspective is mainly, I say that swasthasya swasthya rakshanam and aturasya vikara prashamanam. These are the two main objective as per Ayurveda. First, Ayurveda looks after for the preventing that woman getting affected of any kind of disorder. Then it can be a reproductive system health disorder, and it can be one of the disorder is polycystic disorder. And if some woman is already suffering from PCOD, how to restore her health, how to restore her reproductive health back, so that she will be preventing from getting affected by their complication. And what are the yoga practices, that I'll be explaining in the end. So if you see this structure here, you will see there that there is a normal ovary which has been shown, and there is a polycystic ovary which has been shown here. I hope everybody is understanding this basic concept of this disorder. Moving ahead, how this PCOD presents. So mainly a common hormonal disorder affecting the normal cyclical function of ovaries, resulting in irregular ovulation, that is number one, change in normal hormonal balance, that is number two, and affecting different system in the body. And that's cause a very important signs, symptoms manifest in the form of picture which I have shown here, that hair loss, and you will see here the neck part, which is very much, blackish discoloration, and there is a thickness. It is not the normal skin. If you see this picture, you will find that there is a roughness is there in the skin. And also there many women also suffering from lot of acne problem when they are suffering from PCOD. And there are particular, at the corner of lip, you will see the blackish discoloration has been shown. So this pictures tells you correct the exact signs and symptoms of PCOD. There are a lot of, even these women also suffering from obesity, because it is ultimately it is a metabolism. Digestion is not happening properly, and that's why the unnecessary fat get accumulated, and that is depositing in the part, mainly stomach, hip, thigh region. And that even her complete cosmetic purpose also matters for women's life, and mainly during her young age and fertile time. So this is very important to look after and diagnose early. So what are the guidelines which has been given to diagnose this any woman who comes with the symptoms like irregular menstruation, or unwanted hair growth, or acne, obesity, or alopecia, or central obesity, BMI more than 30? So how one can, just give that you are suffering from PCOD? So there are two three criteria which has been mentioned here. National Institute of Health criteria saying that hyperandrogenism or menstrual irregularity, these are the two criteria. Hyperandrogenism means there is an increase in male hormones in the female body. Okay, like testosterone is the male hormone which is increased in female body, and that's why maybe that unwanted hair growth seen in PCOD female. Then androgen excess PCOS society criteria, they are also saying same, that increase in male hormone and menstrual irregularity, or polycystic ovaries on ultrasonography. Means the female has been asked to do sonography, and in that also it has been clearly shown the picture, which is, that the cyst or the follicles has been seen on the in the sonography. There is another criteria which has been Rotterdam criteria. This has been, I think, 2014 or 13 ka ye criteria hai, where it is clearly mentioned there are three things which has to be, checked by the doctor and that female who is suffering from PCOD. That is hyperandrogenism, menstrual irregularity, and polycystic ovary on ultrasonography. So these three things, if some woman has, then she is definitely understood that she is suffering from this PCOD. Now, this diagnosis has a lot of, like we have seen that there are certain tests which she has to go through. So after taking case history, developmental pattern shows that there is a chance of inheriting PCOS, or the environment is the greatest player in deciding this. So all those examination, or it has been done by appropriate guidance by sonologist, by pathologist, and even clinical doctor, who check even per vagina and see that abnormal growth which has been indicating that doctor to something which is not normal. Now let's see why this PCOD is considered is more problematic for the women's life. Because PCOD is not only causing the problem in getting that fertility or having child, but it also gives rise many complication in her later life, like cardiovascular disease, increase obesity, cholesterol increase hota hai, high blood pressure, diabetes, miscarriage, cancer, uterine or ovarian distress, all those things affecting that women's. And this is actually in the end, the woman can suffer from stress and depression, and vice versa. Even stress and depression in today's life also gives rise all those kind of disorder and imbalance in hormonal function. So it may affect mother, it may affect baby. It is not that compulsory that woman who is suffering from PCOD, she will not become pregnant. She can there are chances of some patient who are having PCOD, but still they can conceive child, but the and also deliver child, but at the same time she is at high risk. The pregnancy is considered as a high risk pregnancy. So let's see the what sonography shows. You will see here where there are it is said that sonography shows complete, the necklace, pearl necklace type of structure has been seen in sonography. So what are the treatment which modern science offers? So modern science offers that balancing that hormones, so estrogen and progesterone has been given, birth control pill has been given to the woman. Also metformin is very important drug which has been given to that PCOS patient to improve insulin levels, because understand that insulin is crucial. Insulin plays very crucial role to stimulate that ovary, stimulate that reproductive system properly, timely taking out that egg. And since insulin is not proper in the blood, that's why metformin is the drug of choice which has been used by doctor. And there are also some fertility drug, which is one of the drug is clomiphene, which has been given to that woman. And also sometimes surgery is taken care. Now let's come very important point, and this is what my area is, Ayurvedic perspective. What Ayurveda thinks on the PCO. So Ayurveda thinks that it is mainly kapha disorder. So Ayurveda thinks on the basis of three dosha, dhatu and mala. This balanced state of all those balance functioning of all this dosha dhatu mala is actually giving rise us healthy state of body and healthy state of mind. So but mainly which dosha is predominant in particular disease, that dosha should be corrected first, so that the other dosha can work there, automatically will resume their work. Here kapha disorder, since PCOD is considered as a kapha disorder, accumulation of kapha blocks this vata and pitta, and that's why this movement is obstructed and transformation process is hampered. That's why we have seen that the three things, vata is important to move that follicle when it comes into the tube. Pitta is responsible to take out that follicle which is mature in the ovary, and kapha is actually important to exact maturing that follicle inside the ovary. And all those three things if happens properly, then only our rasa rakta mans med asthi majja and shukra, these are the dhatu. Or we can say, we should not relate this with the other, modern science system, that rasa को हम plasma या रक्त को compare नहीं कर सकते, but then also we can, just understand for the practical purpose here, because Ayurveda has lot more meaning, saying this rasa, saying rakta. Now let's go this how this tridosha and agni imbalance, and that can be how it can be prevented. So Ayurveda has suggested treatment. First is prevention following Rajaswala Paricharya. I say it DDLJ, and that's why I have kept here one slide from the DDLJ. D stands for diet, another D stands for discipline, and L stands for lifestyle. And if we follow these three things properly in our life, it gives rise a joy of, having enjoying that feminine beauty, or mother, becoming mother, enjoying motherhood, and all the process which female has in her life. So what is this Rajaswala Paricharya? Let me explain you here, which is very important to understand. To in today's world, all women should understand this very well and start following this. Ayurveda thousands of years back has been mentioned and advised this Paricharya. Now Rajaswala is the word or the terminology given to the woman who is menstruating. So it's a woman who is menstruating. This is called Rajaswala, and Paricharya means the holistic care. When she is menstruating, what she has to do. So she has been advised that she has to take rest. She has to stay away even from the kitchen work or the whatever she regularly doing the work. Also she should avoid using cosmetic during those days. She should sleep on the ground. She should isolate herself from the social people being. So she should be, staying and meditating on her own body, because it is considered that when that the ovulation happen, or when that menstruation happen, that the uterus is in the condition of, it is known as wounded womb. Vranita bola hai usko. So vranita means when the cut is happening, when there is a bleeding happening, she has to, take rest, so that that healing will happen faster, and she has to feel that complete pain and prepare her mind for the next. If she is thinking of getting pregnant and deliver baby, so every month she has to feel that pain and understood the kind of pain. So that 5 days solely she should, give herself. It's a me time. It's a very helpful to understand what Acharya has said. It is 20, we cannot, change, but change that, because that is 100% truth they have advised, and we are not at all following all those things nowadays. Even the women yoga teacher mainly, they also do not understand this, the complete physiology. Means I will not say all yoga teacher, but some yoga teacher, they do not know. And topsy turvy asana and activities, advanced asana also being practiced during yoga during menstruation, which is just contraindicated. So this has to be taken care, and then she can be prevented from getting the other complication like endometriosis, adenomyosis, fibroid. There are a lot of disease which comes along with this wrong discipline and lifestyle. Eating outside, going in eating spicy food, or moving during, doing lot of activity, traveling, all those things we are doing during menstruation. So that has to be somewhere one need to uh, address and prevent their problem. Now, yoga to prevent menstrual disorder and PCOD, like Ayurveda always take care of prevention. Even yoga, being a sister science, it takes care of this prevention. Patanjali, this is my favorite shloka from Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Heyam dukkham anagatam, means the pain which has to come, that can be prevented. So women can practice yoga, including modified asana, before, during, and after menstruation too. Since yoga is not only exercise or some kind of posture, it is more than stretch and strength. This can prevent many future female menstrual disorders. So I always suggest that go with the flow. Whatever your body says, listen to the body, become aware about all those signals and follow that signals, and stay uh, safe. Here, Ayurvedic management, there are a lot of Ayurveda drug which has been advised. Even in PCOD, it can gives a good result. But the first thing I would like to advise to all the women who are suffering from PCOD, they should go and take counseling session. Counsel half the problem solve when you talk with the doctor, when you understand what exactly problem, and when once you understand your problem, the later part become easy, that is diet and activity and medicine. So three things which is important here. And diet, I have written here that natural unprocessed diet should be taken, fiber diet, green vegetables, iron rich diet, grapes, blueberries, blackberries, a lot of broccoli, cauliflower. Ayurvedic herbs I have written here: shatavari, Shilajit, Vibitki, Karvel, Guduchi, Amla, Haritki, Ashwagandha, all those things are nothing but these are insulin sensitizer. So what modern science metformin is doing here, these herbs can work without side effect, and they can work well to ovulate properly, and menstruation should will happen timely. So discipline may we I have included here yoga and healthy lifestyle, cleansing practices, yes, but when she is not menstruating that time, because this shuddhi kriya or some loosening practices helps in microcirculation. And here I have shown some medicine herbs which is uh, giving you that the clear easy things easily available at your home: ginger, basil fluid, basil tea. Even you will see here kumari growth, and turmeric powder, which you can use to solve your problem. Now let's understand yoga sadhana during menstrual health. uh, Menstrual hygiene days is celebrated on this date, that is 28th 5th 28th May 2014 से ये शुरू किया है. In yoga, like I have said that yoga is not only asana or some breathing practices, it includes code of conducts, right? So in ashtanga yoga we know that yama, niyam, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan and samadhi. These are the 8 angas. In that, yama, niyam and pratyahara are nothing but these are the code of conducts and restraint of our restraining things should be practiced, so that the sense organs should be channelized inward and not outward. Unnecessary dissipation of energy will not happen. And then yes, asana, pranayama are there which you can practice. I have written here dhyan and samadhi separately because dhyan and samadhi is the result of the things which you do with this yama, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar and dharana practice. And the dhyan is meditation should happen. It should not be, it can't be done. It is a state of mind where you are already reached in something oneness place. Okay, so this is very important even during our menstrual problem and PCOD. Here during menstruation, what type of yoga one should follow, that I have written here: yama, niyam. Obviously you have to follow all this social conduct, personal conduct, and customize asana. I have said here customize asana because during menstruation it is some asana, like I have given you example of topsy turvy asana or advanced asana. It is contraindicated. It may change your physiology. So better to avoid that all those asana, and also person to person it is different. Then avoid kumbhaka. Pranayam may you need pranayam actually it is a kumbhak. So you have to do only simple breathing practice, or just being an observer towards your breath. Deep breathe in, breathe out practices can be done. And don't do kumbhaka, because when you do kumbhaka there are a lot of carbon dioxide and oxygen is more, and it may dilate capillaries. So that already in menstruation that your capillaries at your reproductive system are open, and it may gives rise more bleeding. So I have recommend here, please avoid kumbhaka. Then pratyahara, dharana, definitely this has to be followed during menstruation. Being oneness, for focus your attention should be, concentration should be on swadhisthana chakra, that is our the center point between our umbilicus region and muladhara chakra. And this practice, definitely when you follow, you will not suffer from any menstrual disorder. And even if you are suffering, it may change your internal physical health, psychological health, then physiological health, and definitely mental health also. And then you will lead your spiritual life very well in this life itself. And after menstruation you have freedom to do all kinds of asana as per your body capacity, slow, steady, and definitely keeping that prana shakti in your mind, having aware about what exactly you are doing, what parts you are focusing. All those things should be taken care of, so that this menstruation period is actually monthly detoxification process, natural detoxification process happens in the female body. And she has been gifted with this natural detoxification, so that she can enjoy another 25 days very energetic way and positive way. Now here, how you can start your practice. So here, like I said, you don't jump into directly practicing your asana or advanced practice. You have to start with slow and steady loosening practices, which has been mentioned here. Some neck rotation, joints movement, which has been asked here, so that your microcirculation will start and your kapha dosha is predominant. So slowly you may move towards your asana practice. In Ayurveda, there are cleansing practices mentioned, like Vaman Virechan, Nasya Basti, all those practices indirectly working on your HPO axis and even metabolism. So it is important to go for it. In yoga, there are Shatakarma, this again the cleansing practice. Kapalbhati is very good in PCOD, because kapha dosha is there, and Hatha Pradipika says that cleansing practices should be done to them who has this kapha dosha prominent. So this cleansing shatakarma has been recommended in PCOD. Now, I always insist on this perform asana connecting its meaning. When you understand particular posture and its meaning, then perform it, then it definitely acts on your emotional quotient, and there will be continuously emotional culturing things happens. Some asana which I am showing here, that is Shashank asan, Upavishta Konasan, Halasan, Hanuman asan, Sarvangasan, Viprit Karni, Kandharasan, Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, all those things, if you just focus on, it is mainly targeting your reproductive system as well as your HPO axis, that is your brain. When you do Shashankasan, you are touching your head down, so your ego also goes down, and it also, when you see Shashankasan, there is a compression happenings in your pelvic region, abdomen region. Also, there is a opening of lungs also opens, and you are completely to the down to the earth. So this all kind of posture, when you understand deeply its meaning, it gives rise, it works on your emotional pattern, it works on your hormones pattern, and it balances all those on homeostasis being take care. Now, I don't have much time to explain each and every asana, so I'm just running it so that I can take later on some question answer. Here are some Bhujangasan, Naukasan, Shalabhasan, Plow pose, the Dhanurasan, Utkatasan, Malasan. All those asana are acting on our reproductive system as well as other system and our circulatory system, and mainly HPO axis, to complete this process of normal ovulation and menstruation. Now, here important things which I, because I am working with Kaivaladham and I have studied deeply since 9 years, I am with Kaivaladham, and I read Swami Kuvalananji's book, one of the very beautiful book Swamiji has written, that is Yogic Therapy, its basic principle and method. And he Swamiji is the one who connects that science and yoga together. So he has that Yoga Mimamsa, which is very much popular, which has been which has been come out in the year 1924, and in that he has mentioned many scientific studies has done how asana has the benefit, or how it affect our internal system or inter muscles. So there are definitely some changes, and how what happens, what is the difference between exercise and asana. When you do asana, there is a sthira and sukha should be experienced by that person. It should not be like forcefully you are doing it. So it indirectly, when you practice asana, you are indirectly working and stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system, and it is calming down your sympathetic nervous system. So simultaneously you are maintaining the balance of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and ultimately both these systems are important to function our other system to work appropriately for our normal physiological function. And I'm coming back to the after asana, even pranayama book is there in Kaivaladham. You can read that there are a lot of things which has been scientifically mentioned what kind of pranayama should be practiced. Now here I will be referring related to this menstrual health and PCOD. I will recommend Anulom Vilom Pranayam, Ujjayi and Brahmari, and this should be done mainly not during menstruation menstruation, but before and after menstruation time, she can, practice this so that she will be happily getting her period on time. And lastly, this is my favorite shloka from Bhagavad Gita, that yukta ahar viharasya yukta karmas yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapna avabodhasya yoga bhavati dukkha. Means this shloka tells us that he who is regulated in his habit of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So I hope everybody is clear with this, and thank you so much. If any question, I am ready to take your question. And there are a lot of things, but since we have time restraint, and you are most welcome, even we have many yoga therapy practical session going on online, which Raviji will be, explaining us. So over to Raviji. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kaivaladham, for giving me this platform.
Nutan, wonderful explanation. Great, way to put it. I think you need more time to explain further. But anyway, time is important, so we won't take time now. Maybe we can have another session later on or some other Sunday. But we do have few questions.
Yes, sir.
One question I have seen, even my young kids and other people also have been asking me why PCOD is so common in young girls.
Hmm.
Please explain what is the issue?
See, like I have shown in my slide, that diet, discipline, and lifestyle,
DDLJ.
which is actually is missing in our today's life. Even in Kaivaladham, while consulting, I have seen many girls who are coming with less bleeding, means the 2 days or 1 day bleeding. Earlier days, women used to menstruate at least 5 days, 7 days. That is normal for them because they are eating properly, their disciplined life is there. Nowadays women are multitasking, they are working at home, working at office, and they are moving, they are in that things. I think this is the main cause where women need, so at least take a break 5 days, that is my request. Rajaswala Paricharya says that. And when we take that 5 days break, I think 25 days we have time to rock. Sir, your voice is not there, I think.
Unmute myself. Okay, so young girls, please understand DDLJ. What Nutan has put it very correctly. DDLJ is the key. That is diet, very important. See, earlier, say 50 years, 100 years before, we had a lot of physical activities. We could digest the food what we have been eating, especially wheat and white rice and non-veg and so many other things and junk nowadays. So we have been eating food which we could digest because we were active. Now these, not only young girls but young guys, we all now are not that physically active. So please ensure if you want to have a typical Indian food, be active because wheat, rice, all whatever Indian food is made at home is reasonably rich. So please ensure that you are active. And how you can be active? Twice a day yoga, twice a day bath, and twice a day passing motion as well. Besides having your routine activity, you can walk, you can play, do all those things. But DDLJ means diet, which is very important. Then discipline. Discipline covers everything. It covers your timetable. It covers your routine of like being sincere with the work, with yourself, with your family, friends, and all that studies. So discipline covers everything. Very important here is time management. Discipline comes also in the time management. So time management is so important that sleeping on time. I've seen lately these youngsters are not sleeping on time.
Yes.
That really spoils your hormones. Your glands are really in a mess. Unless you sleep on time, body is like a machine. It requires a lot of rest, proper rest. So sleep on time, have a good time management. Your PCOD or various other issues will be under control. So time is important. Sleep on time, eat on time, do things on time. As we have body clock, as we take appointment with the doctors and doctor is not there, we upset. Same in the body. If the appointment of the food, of the sleep, or the passing motion, or going to the urine is not maintained, means our body is upset. So please have time management, which is part of the discipline. Then lifestyle. Obviously, we know now we have really messed up our lifestyle. Car, lift, remote, all those things that we are using. So please get up, do your work. be independent. Our Prime Minister also mentioned a lot yesterday, Atmanirbhar. So everything what you're supposed to do, don't ask for help unless it's emergency, but try to be independent, try to be more Atmanirbhar, be more active for being fit otherwise. And then you have joy. So DDLJ is a very well put. I think all the young girls, guys should all remember this. And I fully agree with it. I have been saying it that people should follow discipline, determination, and devotion, whether it's a work, business, a job, or anything. Okay, we have a few more questions, Nutan.
Yes.
Why pain happens during menses? How to manage this pain management during the menses? What are these few tips you can give?
Yeah, see, pain happens because there are, when during menstruation, particularly, women has less energy, estrogen, progesterone level has completely dropped out. So there is a
Okay.
low level of estrogen, progesterone, and that's why woman is not able to have that kind of stamina to deal with that pain. And endorphin levels also goes down. That's why when we practice yoga, that time these endorphins can be increased, and endorphins can be bring in the circulation, so that she can manage that pain. Normal low pain means the kind of dull pain which woman is aware about it, what kind of pain. Normal, it is fine, slow steady pain. And that pain, it Ayurveda says that women need to meditate on that pain, so that she can be attuned every month and understand and accept that pain, so that when she will achieve that pregnancy and during childbirth, it is excruciating pain which she feels at the time of childbirth. So she has to prepare herself by isolating self and meditating on that pain, dull pain which is there. So normal pain, you have to accept it, but yes, more severe, you are not able to even get up from bed, then you have to approach your gynecologist or doctor to look after into it.
Correct. So in case unbearable, approach doctor. But otherwise, what she's trying to say, the pain can be pleasure pain.
Yes,
Give it a positive thinking, and it's a part of the routine. So try to
I would say no pain, no gain.
yeah, and have it a pleasure pain. Plus, there are I think few tips, Nutan. You could I've heard. I don't know whether they are right, like coconut water,
Yes.
banana, those kind of fruits, and curd. So how these things are helpful?
See, this actually needed for the hydration purpose, because, like I said, vata is main. Ayurveda says vata is predominant during menstruation time. Then that lady could be, having other kind of personality, like kapha predominant, kapha personality or pitta personality. But then also when she is menstruating, in her body, mainly vata is predominant. So vata plays very important role, where dryness is lot of, there is a dryness in your other parts of the body, and apan vayu is more active, which is actually located in the pelvic region. So the flow of vata is downward, so there is a less hydration and other part of the body. So definitely this coconut water, or keeping self with eating some fruits, banana, like you have said here, that definitely helps her to cope up with those factors, and prevent her from getting more exposed to the virus or bacteria. Even in lockdown, sir, I would advise that women who is menstruating, she should avoid going out, because covid is there. So she is more prone to get that infection if she is going. So better to avoid this 3 4 days, and then you are free to go.
Yeah, we should follow the protocol anyway.
Yes.
And even I've heard that during or otherwise, because the girl starts menses lately early, menopause early. So, what are the reason for this early menses, early menopause?
See, nowadays there are a lot of digital means exposure is there, free available, things, information, which is not converted into wisdom. Like I heard Subodhji many time, how we can convert information into wisdom. Otherwise, we will become otherwise. So that is imprinted in my mind. So information lot of information is there, wrong information goes in the subtle mind, and our subconscious mind definitely, like our organ talks with each other, which we are not aware about it. So that hormones, get signal unknowingly, and it happens, on different time, which the particular time has been given, which has to happen. It is not happening on that time, and early all those things are happening.
Okay. Because girls start menstruating at whatever age and then they are doing it for many years, I think calcium and D3 are important. Vitamins are important.
Hmm.
And lately, we don't go out much in the sun,
Hmm.
So, how important to have food which has a lot of calcium and D3 or being in sun and all that for girls, especially?
Yes, another important thing which PCOD, regarding PCOD, I in Ayurveda it has been said that parishram and mitahara, two things are very important. So mitahara comes, the diet which has been very well explained in Hatha Pradipika, susignam madhuram. Means the diet which has that the stickiness little bit sweet, and which is taken, one-fourth part, which will feel only one-fourth part of our stomach, and rest of the part, one part should be water and other part should be vacant. And then that diet should be taken offering to the Shiva, like we say, offering to the god, or giving that proper attention to the food is the main, plays very important role in our digestion process, because digestion starts when you look at the food, how you look at the food. When you look at in a proper way, you chew it properly, then it goes to your system, and then it is appropriately taken by our Jatharagni, digestive fire, and then it is then later on assimilate properly in the circulation, which carries lot of nutrient. Many times what happens, we feel that we are eating very good food, lot of nutrient, but even if you are eating, how you are eating, what you are eating, what you are doing after eating, that matters to assimilate that part which is there in that food. So assimilation problem happens. So yoga, when we practice yoga, when we do parishram, when we eat mitahara, that gives time to address all those things on time and assimilate properly. Then calcium, vitamin, सब कुछ मिलेगा body को.
Yeah, so I think the girls should also look into the having healthy food and especially food rich in calcium and vitamins, and food should have a lot of nutrition value. And I think the sprouts are very good. Beside
Yes,
all the fruits and vegetables, soup and salad, dairy
yes.
products are good for calcium purpose. Dry fruits are better. Dry nuts are also good. But whenever you have dry nuts, please,
Soaked,
yes, please
soaked
soak
in water.
and have them. Yes. So
Hmm.
dry nuts are good if they are soaked. Otherwise, they don't have much that kind of value which they are giving
Yes,
otherwise.
yes.
I think I'm not having exactly the same question here, but somebody is asking why urban city girls or women is having reasonably more miscarriages.
Ha.
Sometimes we have heard, yeah.
See,
So what are the reasons?
why miscarriages occurs due to, see, there are lot of reason for this miscarriages things. One thing that how that pregnancy is, that pregnancy is conscious decision. If your decision is not conscious at the time of that things, and it happens by chance, then maybe your body is rejecting inside. Also another thing is, our body, female body or male body, both has that intelligence that to accept the things which is normally, normal. So
Hmm.
when it is something abnormal in the whatever fertilized egg is there, and if that has some abnormality, so our body reject it, so that time also miscarriage happens. Third things, if that woman is, traveling or doing some activity and she is not aware about her pregnancy, then also miscarriage happens. Some injury, she falls down, you know so there are a lot of causes. So I have explained hardly 3 4 here. So that
Stress
has,
also, I think, one of the reasons.
yeah, sorry.
Stress also is.
Stress is one of the important reason, because in Ayurveda, beautiful shloka has given Saumanasya Garbhadharana. Saumanasya Garbhadharana means that mind should be very much, calm, quiet, and it is planned pregnancy. It should be planned pregnancy. When that type of during that state of mind, if pregnancy conception happens, then definitely that conception will convert into healthy child, healthy pregnancy, and healthy childbirth.
Correct. Uh, I think, in Mumbai, I've seen a lot of girls or women come here with period PCOD and various other issues, and we have seen that they get a lot of benefit. So regular yoga really helps in having regular healthy menses. Your PCOD issues are minimized, and many more issues of gynec related problems are minimized. So the bottom line is practice, practice, and practice. Beside DDLJ, you need to practice, because unless you practice yoga, as I said, twice a day, bath twice a day, and pass motion twice a day. At the same time, have a healthy, positive lifestyle. Entertainment is very important. Nowadays, we work so much that we forget to entertain ourselves. Enjoy life, have entertainment. Laughter is important. So be happy, be relaxed, be positive. As it's mentioned in Gita that whatever will happen for your best. So expectation causes a lot of disappointment. Disappointment causes a lot of diseases and gear problems. So minimize expectation, and especially for girls, emotional issues are very much important because the hormones are involved. And yoga is the wonderful science or therapy or healing for hormonal balance. So to balance your hormone, which is again PCOD and menses and all the gynec issues, yoga is a wonderful method. It's a great science. So please, please, please practice yoga every day. We have in Kevladham doctors. One is obviously Dr. Nutan, and 5, 6 more doctors are available. We have facilities where you can do online consultation. Website is there, kdham.com/Mumbai. Please go to the website, fill the form, and consult the doctors. Yoga is important for everyone nowadays. We all know that. We also have online classes. We are doing at least 4 classes every day. Again, for the classes, please go to the website kdham.com/Mumbai. We have, after this today's talk, we will begin tomorrow therapeutic classes for PCOD and various other gynec issues. So please fill the form again, go to website, fill the form for therapeutic classes or regular classes or just consult a doctors. And we also have various courses planned up in September and October. Certificate course, diploma course, and online courses. So a lot of activities are happening online. So please visit our website. I repeat again, kdham.com/Mumbai. So beside these activities, whenever we open, you are most welcome to visit Kevalnam, consult our doctors, practice yoga every day. And I think I would like to just say a few points before we close our session, that detox is very important. Body develops a lot of toxins because of the pollution, and food is not being very healthy and impurities are there. So detox yourself, whether Ayurveda, naturopathy, or yoga. Cleansing processes are mentioned everywhere. So please detox, do the cleansing, and beside practicing. Breath is a wonderful cleansing. Every time you breathe out, cleansing happens. You sweat out, cleansing happens. You pass urine, cleansing is happening. You go to the toilet, passing motion, cleansing is happening. So let these body function, enhanced by yoga, by diet, by being positive. So work on detox, work on regular practices, be happy, healthy, be positive, follow YAM, NIYAM, which she mentioned already. So I think our time is getting over. Nutan, would you like to have some last comments?
No, last comment is that like Swami Kuvalananda has very well, proven this science of yoga, which actually work on this neuroendocrine system, and he has coined the term nerve culture. That is very important. So that nerve culture happen if we practice this yoga, and Patanjali, like Sage Patanjali, has given how many days we should practice. So remember the shloka that Satu Dirgha Kala Nairantarya. So Satkara Sevito Drudabhumi. If you really want to make yourself successful in the practice of yoga, you have to keep practicing. Like Raviji also said today, practice, practice, and practice. That is the only way to live this happy life, and stay away from all those illness, and restore your health if you are ill also back.
Yes.
So
So I
thank you.
think we will just say at the end, please feel free. Kevalnam is the oldest institute, which is based on tradition and science, where we do everything under the medical supervision. Our doctors are there, teachers are there. They will guide you, take care of your issues. We will be ending a session today. Next Sunday also we will have webinar. Okay. So we will end Nutan together with the 3 Om chanting.
Okay, sir.
Right? So
Okay.
let's sit upright and
Yes.
close your eyes. We will say it together.
Yes.
All of us breathe in.
Oh.
Om. Breathe in. Last, breathe in.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, everyone, giving time and listening to us. See you soon. Have a great time and stay home. Do yoga twice a day, bath twice a day, pass motion twice a day, and smile all the time. Bye bye.